This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, March the 12th. Please stand for our invocation led by Council Member Corey Penn, District 1, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father God, we just thank you right now, God, this morning. We thank you for our great city of Mobile. We thank you for our administration, our city council, and every department head, to the police department, fire department, public works, as well as our city council staff. We thank you right now, God, for a spirit of unity that goes throughout our city. Thank you for strategies, ideas to take our city to greater heights. And we thank you right now, God, to do all those things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. President Small, Vice President Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Penn.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Councilmember Reynolds.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Woods.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Our president, Mr. C.J. Small, is out of town today, so I'm filling in. And if you all don't mind, I'm going to do just a condensed version of the rules rather than reading the entire thing. Most of you come to our meetings and you're familiar with them anyway. So basically, just turn off your devices, either put them on vibrate or silent so that no one is interrupted. If you come to the podium, please give us your name for the record and address all questions and statements to me, the chair. And then, of course, there is no undue applause allowed in the meeting. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our clerk, Ms. Lambert.
Approval of minutes. Approval of minutes of March 5th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Communications from the mayor's office.
No communications from the mayor.
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Appeal. We have requests for a waiver of the noise ordinance on March 16th on Dolphin Street, March 17th on Dolphin Street, March 23rd on Hillcrest Road, and April 13th on Hillcrest Road.
We'll get back to it. Okay.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It was just brought to my attention, we need to back up a little bit. We need to announce the employee of the month, Ms. Smith. Okay. We'll go to public hearings after that.
Thank you. We'll make this quick. We have our Employee of the Month, who's representative of Public Works, who is being represented by Parks and Recreation. I'm going to have Shad come and present her.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the City Council, administration, and citizens and visitors in the building this morning. It is an honor to acknowledge Ms. Corliss Morris. She's been with us since November the 10th, 2020. She's a custodian one at James Hill Community Center. She's a person of few words. Ms. Corliss, you could tell she's always thinking. She don't say a lot, but you can tell she's always thinking. She's known for being to work on time. She comes to work 30 minutes prior to her report time every day. She assists with all setups and breakdowns. She assists with a lot of events as well. She takes pride in keeping the entire grounds clean and litter free. And she provides, she's very proactive in providing us reports on hazardous spots along the location, so keeping the city free of liability. So that's a big thing. And we also call her the snake charmer. And you want to know why we call her the snake charmer? On two different occasions, she has found snakes in the building, and she didn't call anybody. She took care of herself. So let's give her a round of applause for that. And also, hey, see what I'm saying? All right. And she's an excellent multitasker. Often when things pop up as they do in Parks and Rec, you know, she take care of those things, but then she never neglects her regular responsibility. So without further ado, I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Corliss Ms. Corliss Morris as the Employee of the Month for Public Works.
Oh, thank you. Turn around.
Ms. Vice President,
Yes, sir.
since Texas Street is in District 2, let me congratulate the snake charmer again. But let it be known that that was a mighty big black snake that she got out of the building. And then I think that other one was a little ground rattler too. I didn't know if it was black, brown, or golden brown or whatever it was, but I think she grabbed it by the head and took it out the door. Now, you don't find too many people willing to do that. I know if it was me, I would have been down the street somewhere. So, but thank you again for all you do for our district and especially for Texas Street Park. We really appreciate your services.
All right. Ms. Lambert.
Public hearings. Today is a public hearing to declare the structures at 2813 Berkeley Avenue and 1328 Adams Street public nuisances and ordering them demolished.
This is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak to either one of these, please come to the podium. Okay, with that, the public hearings are closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Diamond Slay.
Is Ms. Slay in the audience? Yes. Can she step out? Do you want to just move down to the next
Okay.
one and wait for her to come in?
Okay, Patricia Law.
Oh, okay, well, here she comes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sure y'all are already aware why I'm here. I'll show you this first. I'm sure you've seen it many times. It was all over the news this morning. Okay? All right. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and read to you what I want to say. And first of all, I'll back up and say good morning to you all. And first of all, I come to you not as an angry black woman, not less than, but more than. I stand on the shoulders of many women, particularly women of color, whose ancestors were enslaved and were maids, to say to you that we are tired of having the highest rate of heart problems, much of that stemming from broken hearts, of tirelessly struggling and standing in the gap for our families, our men and children. But we can no longer remain passive and silent to the pain we experienced because of the comic cowboys' actions. Totally not acceptable. But we can, I'm sorry, I lost my spot. For the comic cowboys, whose members thought that they could parade through the streets of Mobile, mocking the pain of a family, a mother. To watch a parade as a grieving mother, I can't read that, I'm gonna have to give you me. Totally unacceptable. I was on that parade route, hundreds of thousands of people visiting our city, watched this float go by. This is totally not acceptable. Alabama has always had a long history of racism, and it still stands today. And we cannot make fun of others' pain. Each and every one of you women in this building right now, if you were a mother standing on that parade route and you saw that float coming by mocking what happened to your child while you're yet grieving for what happened to him, you would feel just as bad as we all do. So I am making a plea to the state, to the city of Alabama, the state of Alabama, for us to come together. There's so many issues in this world today, and if we keep on the path that we're on today, the wrath of God will come down upon all of us. Think it's a joke. All the wars, climate control, we have all these issues that are devastating us. Sin is at an all-time high. And for those of us, or you, that throw a rock and hide your hand and make it seem as if people are just doing what they do, there's always issues behind the scene that lead to a lot of these atrocities. So the Comic Cowboys will be addressed with a letter that we prepare to give to them because of this atrocity, and we're not going to sit by and stand by and let this happen.
Okay, Ms. Slay,
Continue to
that's your
happen.
time.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Appreciate you for your time and listening. I'll take this.
Diamond Slay.
That was Mrs. Slay?
No, that was Patricia Law.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss Slay was outside.
Okay.
Diamond Slay. I stand here today as a 28-year-old Moorish American woman, a native to this city of Mobile County, Alabama, and the mother of 2 sons who will be 2 and 3 this year. I truly cannot verbally express the ache that I literally felt in my heart when I first listened to Mrs. Dallas's account of what she witnessed on that body cam video from the night of her son's death. How does a mother ever find sanctuary in her own heart when she is left with the burden of knowing that her neighbors and so-called leaders are truly wolves in sheep's clothing, publicly mocking and yet condoning police brutality and murder? To the Comic Cowboys, nothing about your group nor those floats are entertaining nor funny. They were extremely distasteful, disrespectful, and disgusting in nature. I never cease being amazed when wicked hearts in this land manifest their false sense of glory. But what does surprise me is that the leadership of this city would allow such vile and inhumane things to be broadcast in broad daylight during our city's most celebrated time. We speak proudly of being in the midst of an era where thousands of billions of dollars are being invested into growth and development of our city. We talk about having a one Mobile, but the Comic Cowboys are a clear example that this city has never been one Mobile, nor will it ever be if this type of behavior continues. Who would desire to come and live amongst citizens who dish out such cruel and unusual punishment? Amongst leaders who find it okay to joke about police brutality and murder in front of thousands of children? They disrespect human lives because they see adults doing it. To the Mobile City Council and to the mayor, leaders of this city, to allow this organization to continually parade its privilege down our streets while we sit here and condone this behavior with silence would be the biggest mistake we have ever made. Choose wisely. God is watching and the world is watching.
Reverend
Thank
Tony
you.
Allgood.
Is Reverend Allgood in the audience today? Yeah, I don't see him. Okay.
Tabitha Humphrey.
Good morning. I too stand before you as a concerned citizen of Mobile, Alabama. My name is Tamitha Humphrey, and I want to bring awareness to this injustice presented during the Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, the highlight of Mardi Gras, featuring the Comic Cowboys as I watched that parade. I witnessed a float that said MPD finally released body cam footage with shocking results. I was shocked to witness this float. It was a disgrace to human race and to the Dallas family, who is personally scarred by the injustice that was dealt to them and their son. As a mother who has experienced such low blows, even with loved ones myself, I can personally state that this was such a humiliating blow that I never want anyone else to witness ever again. There are many injustice issues, to name a few, like overly sentencing African Americans for punishments they don't fit the crime, where others become a racial privilege, receiving a slap on the wrist for similar crimes. My spirit is grieved. My heart is broken for the intolerance that take place in Mobile, Alabama. As a lifelong resident of Mobile, I have to ask, what message are we sending to the next generation? We say learning today, leading tomorrow. If we as leaders let this type of behavior continue, what will our future behold? We say our lives matter, but did Dallas family matter? We need change. We need to know this will never happen again. I never want to see another family witness this type of detrimental action in another coming cowboy parade. Never again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And yes, I did see Reverend Allgood come in.
I'm Reverend Tony Allgood. Good morning. I'm here to speak against the float that was presented by the Comic Cowboys. The one that showed the man being tased and the comment underneath. You know, there are a lot of folks in this town, good folks, that are working for racial conciliation. What kind of a message does such a float send to those that see it? How would any of us feel if it were our son or daughter that had been tased to death and then viewed something like that? Brings up a lot of wounds, brings up a lot of hurt. For me, to be silent would mean consent. I don't consent to this. You know, we are trying to build a beloved community, a true one Mobile, a little bit of heaven here on earth. And it sure wouldn't look like the signs that were displayed by Comic Cowboys. Now, I don't know what kind of control we all have, if any, over what they do. But you can at least let the citizens of Mobile know that we don't approve of such actions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam Vice President.
Yes, sir, Mr. Penn?
Thank you so much. And I think for every person that came down, I agree with you all 100%. I don't agree. And I would join in with writing a letter and stating the same thing. I said it before, if we say that we are one and we're going to move together as a city forward, these type of statements shouldn't be made. It's not funny. I actually don't even attend that parade because I don't know what's going to be said. And I think as a community, as a city, if we want to move forward, then we have to stand against things like that. That was an awful statement. No one want to see anything like that. It's not fun when a person loses their life at all. We have seen comments in the past, and we have to realize that everything is not a joke, that these are serious matters. But I would like to ask our attorneys here, is it anything from the city council standpoint that we're able to do. So people will understand in the community what we're able to do and what our authority.
Did you want to ask any specific on
Um,
Mr. Atchison? Mr.
Atchison or Mr. Woods from a city standpoint.
Woods, if y'all would like to
So-
weigh in.
So understanding the sentiments heard here, I understand it's serious, but from a legal standpoint, yeah, you're dealing with freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and in the very same way as the government will allow people to come and speak against something, we don't get to control the content of what happens when the people are parading. So that is a First Amendment constitutional issue. And as the government, we're not allowed to go in and police content just because it's unsavory or unnecessarily harmful and hurts feelings. Understanding we may not agree with it and we have the right to disagree with it, but policing it and stopping it is not, there's nothing we can do in that realm if it's just speech.
So as a council, just making sure the community and the city has the understanding. We don't have any authority.
That's right. You're
Okay.
dealing with First Amendment Constitution issues. The council does not have the authority to stop that unless you're putting somebody in danger or fighting words. But it's very limited on what a council can do. So in this particular instance, the council nor the administration has the authority to abridge free speech or freedom of expression because it's covered by the First Amendment. That's unfortunately the position that we're in, no matter how much we may disagree with it.
All right. Thank you, Attorney Woods. And so for me, since I don't have that authority as a council member, that doesn't mean that I can't speak up as a resident and as a citizen of the city of Mobile. So I will be joining in and writing a letter. Thank you so much, Madam Vice President.
Madam Vice President,
Yes, sir, Mr. Carroll.
I don't like what I just heard, but I'm going to sign this letter also, and I will join in. But let me paint a different picture. It hadn't been 90 years since there was a rope in a tree in a fire where bodies were burned and citizens were made to look at it and kids were made to look at it and laugh like it was a joke for people being burned. And now today we get the same type of presentation where we have, instead of a fire, we have electricity with a body on the ground with the same semblance of being burned as a joke going down the street. Now, if we want to bring that same type of atmosphere back to our city, then we have a problem. If that is what we want to promote, then we have a problem because subliminally, that is what we just projected. Whether they thought about it or they didn't think about it, it's what happened. And it's just a mirror image of 100 years ago with today's technology. So let's tell the truth right here. It was inappropriate. And if that's the message that the city of Mobile wants to send to the rest of the world, then we need to do something about it. And now that's just moral law. Please send me a copy of the letter. I'll be glad to sign it. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Ms. Lambert.
Ordinance is held over. 25039, ordinance amending Chapter 25, garbage, trash, and litter of Mobile City Code.
Motion to lay over 1 week, please.
I thought we were
No,
tabling.
this is the one we need to table.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Motion to table.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
83, ordinance 83021, annex certain property into the corporate limits of the city of Mobile.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Consent resolutions held over. 37205, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license to the Sticky Rooster on Highway 90.
Move delay over 1 week.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions held over. 08208, approved purchase order to University of South Alabama for EMT certification class. 21209, authorized contract with Canon Solutions of America for printer rental supplies and support services. 6210, authorized settlement agreement and release of claims.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
60-214, resolution stating changes to Mobile Police Department policy regarding no-knock warrants and pre-dawn raids shall be disclosed to the city council.
Motion lay over a week.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Ordinances being introduced, 25022.
By city council rules, this ordinance will lay over 1 week.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 09216 through 60229.
Madam Vice President,
Yes, sir.
I move that we waive the rules and take up for immediate consideration the resolutions mentioned.
With the exception
With
of
the exception of 40-218.
Yes.
Okay. All in
Second.
favor? All in favor?
Aye.
09216, transfer funds from District 7 discretionary account to Mobile Tennis Center for the Child Advocacy Center's Serve It Up event. 40-217, declare the structure at 2813 Berkeley Avenue a public nuisance and order it demolished. 60-219, approve award a special bonus to the Parks and Recreation Employee of the Month. 60-220, 221, 222, 223, and 229 are determining appropriations to Crittenton Youth Services, Africa Town Plateau Pacers, Marching Cougars Band Booster Club, Mobile Alumni Chapter Kappa Alpha Psi Inc., and Mothers Involved Against Gun Violence serve a public purpose and approve payment.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions being introduced, 01224 through 21227.
By city council rules, these will lay over 1 week.
Call for public hearings, 41228, call for public hearing to rezone property located at 4600 Cypress Business Park Drive from B3 and B5 to B3, scheduled April the 9th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Announcements.
We will start on my left-hand side over here with Mr. Reynolds, District
No
4.
announcements.
Mr. Penn, District 1.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. On April the 1st, we will have our pastors meeting for District 1. It will be at the Tomerville Library at 6 p.m. We're inviting all pastors or representatives from their church in District 1 and outside. If you're a pastor that lives outside District 1 and would like to attend, you're welcome to still do that. On April the 4th, we'll have a District 1 business owners meeting. So we're inviting all business owners to come and meet at the Tomerville Library at 6 p.m. The goal is to start building those relationships with our business owners and let them know what's coming down the pipeline in our community as well. And then on April the 8th, we will have our Crichton meeting at Friendship Church at 6 p.m. And more information will be in our newsletters, so you will get this information. Remember, I'm District 1, you're District 1, and we're District 1. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
All right, thank you. District 5, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. There will be a meeting of the City Council's Finance Committee on or about 1 o'clock p.m. this afternoon. This meeting has been called to gather some information regarding the 4 football games that the city is providing significant financial resources to. Thank you.
All right, and District 2, Mr. Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sorry, not Mr. President, Madam Vice President. A quick congratulations to the Texas Street boys basketball team for winning the state championship over the weekend. Job well done, guys. I can't wait to get you home and to at least award you or recognize you in front of the entire city. Hopefully Parks and Recreation will have you down here soon. Secondly, there will be a District 2 community meeting focusing on the Maysville community, and that's the area from Michigan Avenue to Hertel over to DIP and back down to Duval Street and back over to Michigan. So that's the southern part of District 2. That is once was District 3, that is now in District 2 as of reapportionment. And that is the Maysville community, March 26, 6 p.m. at Harmon Park. March 26, 6 p.m., Harmon Park. We will have various city staff there to address any needs you may have, but this meeting is a meeting of introduction so that we can get to know I can get to know your district or your area and make sure that we're getting the proper resources out to your area so that you can have a better quality of life. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
You are welcome. And District 6, Mr. Woods.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Vice President. Just want to do a reminder that March 26th, we'll have a District 6 community meeting at Woodridge Baptist Church at 6 p.m. And just further explanation, with the new way District 6 is being short and fat like myself, we're going to alternate on where our location is so that we can fully take advantage of ensuring that everybody has a chance to attend at least 2 meetings a year. Due to proximity to their house. But on March 26th, there'll be a notice sent out via email. Make sure you sign up for the District 6 email so that you can get those. I do want to say thank you to United Way, also to Mertz and Miss Sims' class. Had the opportunity to go and read to them for Reading Across America Month. Had a great time. I really appreciate that. Love Mertz, and thank you, investigators, for having me and letting me come read. Also do want to say thank you to Westside Ball Club or Ballpark. Chase Spivey and his team allowed me the opportunity, or gave me the opportunity, to MC their opening day ceremonies. The awesome experience. I had a great time, so I want to say thank you to Westside. And for the parents, I do know that am aware of the car break-in that occurred this weekend. We'll definitely send an email out, see what we can do about that. But and then also in the works is fixing the fence to help ensure that that area is more secured. So all that's being worked on. It just takes some time. But thank you again to Chase and his board for allowing me the opportunity to MC their opening day. That's it for me.
All right, thank you. I, too, was a part of the Reading Across America program. I read to children that were pre-kindergartners at Orchard Elementary last week. And if you haven't read aloud one of those Dr. Seuss books lately, The Cat in the Hat, and in particular, Fox in Socks, I challenge you to do that. It is a tongue twister. But they were great kids, just so sweet and so loving. They really made my day. Also, I want to remind everybody about the Mobile Botanical Garden plant sale. That is coming up this weekend. The preview plant sale will be on Thursday. Those tickets you actually have to purchase. The sale itself is Friday and Saturday from 9 until 3. So that's just come and park and go participate and buy lots and lots of plants, where master gardeners will be on hand to help you determine which plants will grow best in your yard and in your garden. I also want to make people aware, if you have not seen some of the social media, there has been an alligator in Langham Park Lake. I've got some information over the weekend along with a photo. It's not the first time that we have had alligators in the park at Langham Lake. Alligators are everywhere in all of our waterways, and they actually do get into these lakes where maybe you least expect it. We have been in the process of hiring a trapper to come get this gator and move it to a more appropriate location, if you will. But I just want everyone to please be aware that they are there, and when and if you are along the shoreline there at Langham Park at the lake and you are feeding ducks, you are just in some ways inviting possible trouble. So we are working on some signage now to remind everybody not to feed ducks bread, because that is actually not good for them. And also because gators could be nearby, and we want everyone to be safe. So that is it from District 7. And I know we now have, are you going to do, yes, Britton Bonner is coming to give us information on an executive session.
Yes, we have a proposed executive session to begin at the conclusion of this meeting. It will last approximately an hour to an hour and a half, and you would not be expected to come back in afterwards and take any formal action. As you said, my name is Britton Bonner. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Adams and Reese. I'm licensed to practice in the state of Alabama, and I represent the city on economic development affairs. I assert that this planned discussion within the proposed executive session meets the requirements of Section 2625A-7 of the Open Meetings Act. In particular, the executive session is necessary to discuss preliminary negotiations involving an economic development project, and I assert that such discussions, if entered into the minutes disclosed outside of executive session, would have a detrimental effect on the competitive position of the city.
Move we go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, she's going to do roll call. Yeah.
President Small, Vice President Gregory,
Yes.
Councilmember Penn,
Yes.
Councilmember Carroll,
Yes.
Councilmember Reynolds,
Yes.
Councilmember Daves,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods.
Yes.
We are in executive session and we will,
We'll
No.
recess.
we are recessing to the ninth floor and we will not be back here in this auditorium.